In watching them from afar over the years during my time at Portland, I always respected the team and the players a lot. And I told them before training that was a big reason that I came. Really good people, good players, good staff, good culture. For me, I come here humble, extremely motivated, but humble to work with this group of guys. And any manager would love to come to a situation where there's a good team and you can build off the foundation that Greg built. And I also told him, while I come humble, I come hungry as well to help them achieve more.
What will you implement? How will we see your handprint, footprint on this deal?
Yeah, well, I'm not coming in to, reinvent the wheel. Obviously, all coaches have different ways of doing things, and there's no right or wrong in a model of play. But there'll be some tweaks and some little differences, subtle, but we want to be a passing team. I value that, just like my past predecessor.
Sure.
It's always important. You need to have the ball to score goals. You need to have the ball to win games. So that won't change. We'll be a passing team, especially in the front half.
Okay.
We definitely want to dictate the game in the front half and decide the game there. We'll also be a pressing team, a counter-pressing team once we lose it. Certainly at home, you'll see that style of dominant football. Again, you have to have a purpose to the possession. You need to create chances out of the possession. So I would call it more of a progressive possession. Always looking to break lines and go to goal, create chances.
When you see a team like this that has had the success that it's had the past couple of years, and the core nucleus is back, that's high expectations for anybody and for any team to come into the beginning of the season to say, you guys have been there. We need to go a little farther.
Absolutely. And that's the statement I made this morning. Again, really pleased to have a good group, a group that's stable, great culture, good way of playing. Staff like a well-oiled machine. There'll be some new coaches, of course, but and I'm the new coach. But I feel like we can hit the ground running. Yeah, I really do. And everything builds over the preseason towards March 2nd at home. It's a big game. We want to make a statement in that game. We're playing an opponent that's we've battled with in the playoffs. We want the fans to see and feel the energy that we're going to play with and the passion. So we're looking forward to it. We have, a really good rhythm in preseason. We have a way physically that we build the team up. I have a way tactically that I build the team up and put my imprint on it. It was a good day today. These guys are good guys, and they work hard. There's no luxury guys. They all put the work in. They all have good attitudes, and that's a real positive.
You expect that too when the big guns come back for you? Those three guys who are.
We have a lot of big guns.
Could you envision where they might be?
Yeah, we have a lot of big guns, and some are here, and some are with the national team. But we're a team. That's really important. We're of course we'll have individuals that all do different things. But I don't believe in a first team, second team. It's one team. Everybody's important, whether you play a minute or 90 minutes or no minutes. I need everyone.
Caleb, I know that you are going to get a little of all of this done, but these initial workouts, is the focus conditioning? Is it installing your system? Is it building camaraderie? What is the emphasis?
Yeah, good question. All of the above. First 2 days here with the space we have, and obviously guys coming back from preseason, mostly the emphasis is physical and technical. So physically building them up, making sure that we get all the players who are, in different buckets, some of them. The returning guys are where they need to be because they understand what it's about and they follow the off-season program. The new guys, some are in a good spot, some need to get up to speed. So it's entering them in physically, and then technically can we introduce some concepts, passing, positioning, speed of play, make sure they get the rust off. It's difficult, the turf, but it was good today. This is a technical team. And then Friday we start to build the layers on the team. We implement our model of play slowly. We'll start with the attack, and then we'll build to the first game, second game, and then we'll go to the defensive side. And then when we get to Charleston, it's about, putting both together. We'll gradually build the minutes as well. We'll do 35, 45 in the second game, 60 in the third, so on and so forth.
You mentioned how familiar you were with this roster even before you came here, but now that you're getting your hands on them, how much can you learn from actually being here on the ground with them that you didn't know before watching them from film and watching them as an opponent?
A lot. Obviously you watch a group and players on TV, and I had a lot of respect for these guys as individuals and as a team. But then I met with all of them. I had a 30-minute meeting with all of them over the last 2 days individually. I really enjoyed that because I could get to know them as people, which I feel is really important. Get to know everybody's unique. They all have their own, differences, unique differences that I really like. And so that was good. Learn about their families, learn about their stories, all that stuff. That was great. That's important. And then as a team, I met with the team for the first time in the morning, and it's just nice to be in the locker room and talk to the group. That's what makes me, tick and gets me out of bed every day. I've been waiting a year, so I couldn't be more excited to be here and to work with this group.
Talking to them as a team, the one thing last year that was kind of held over the team's head that they had no control over, that the fans and the media always asked was, next year, where are you going to be next year? Have you seen, I don't know if it's a sigh of relief or a happiness that they know where they're going to play this year, they know where they're going to play next year, they know where they're going to be, and it's not unsettled?
Yeah, it's unreal what this group, not just the players but the staff, have gone through and done. If you think about mentally not knowing if you're going to have a team and what that was going to look like and whether or not they were going to have jobs, the resiliency and the character that the entire club, including the staff, have shown is for me really humbling. And it shows too just their character and their quality as well, that they were able to be successful last year. But can we take it a step further? I think can we, like I said in the my first rally press conference, can we innovate and elevate? And so for me that will be the goal. Can we bring a trophy, major trophy to this club? It doesn't happen by accident. It's a comprehensive thing, and it's everything matters and everything adds up. And so as my job as the head coach is to manage the performance environment and surround them with the organization and preparation and every opportunity for them to be successful individually and collectively. But then also culturally, I find that it's very important that the team, the way that we respect each other, trust each other, fight for each other, that's just as important, the psychology and the mentality of the team. And so that's every day, going back to what you were saying. Every day we're working on mentality. Every day we're working on physical. Every day we're working on tactical. But these first 2 days, mostly physical, technical.
So innovate and elevate. That's the mantra. That's the rallying cry.
Well, I think it's a little bit of kind of the goal, right? We always have to be a club, even though we have new ownership, and maybe there are more resources as time goes on, new facilities. But we can't lose the good, and the good here was always we were a club that made the most of what we had, and priority was on style of play. Priority was on being a good tactical team and being a good group culture-wise. So we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay.
We're gonna keep the good and hopefully add on to it as well. And that means continuing to innovate and continuing to look at how we do things and being on the cutting edge of everything: sports science, analytics, tactics, psychology, and then can we take it further?
You weren't the only guy out there that was directing some things. Where are you in the process of finalizing your staff? Yeah.
So we have all our staff's on board right now. And one will join us in Chula Vista. We'll make an announcement Friday with that. But Pablo Moreira, who I've worked with at Akron, at Portland, he's been with me everywhere. He'll be an assistant coach. And Mike Makovich, who I've worked with as well, and I think is one of the most experienced coaches that I've seen. He's been in the league 4 different times with different managers, and You know, he has far more hours on the training pitch and in games than I do. I worked with him in the U18 national team, and he's a good coach. I stack him up with anybody I've worked with. He has experience in youth development as well, which we feel is really important. He's run, clubs and started clubs in Chicago and worked with the Chicago Fire a bit, and he's been an assistant manager with 4 different head managers in this league. So he'll be kind of my right-hand guy. And then also we're going to have in preseason Ben Cross as well, who's an academy coach who's highly regarded and is a guy that's been put to my attention as someone that's a really good, young, up-and-coming coach, talented. And he was out there with us today, and so I like one salty kind of vet and a couple young guys, and it's the same with my teams. You know, that dynamic. You need a mix of senior guys that have been through the wars and young guys as well that bring energy and passion and talent.
You mentioned resources. Do you feel like you're treading water for the next 2 years until this bright, shiny new stadium opens?
No. I mean, listen, I've seen it all, done it all. I mean, 15 years ago, I didn't have anything. I was a college soccer assistant in washing uniforms and lining fields, and so I'm blessed and humbled to be in a club like the Columbus Crew that have a lot of resources and a great infrastructure. So this team has enough to win now.
And a proud history.
And a proud, rich history, of course. And I come here to honor that, of course. But can, as we always say, can we leave our legacy and make it even better than it was?
Just sort of as people, what are these first few days like, and sort of feeling out the team and the team feeling you out? Is it like an exciting time, or is it awkward? What's that?
No,
like?
It's not awkward. It's exciting. Yeah, it's for me, this is what I do. It's what I've done for the last 18 years, and it's what makes me tick. It's what I get out of bed to do. And it was awkward last year not doing it, to be honest with you. It's like riding a bike, getting back in and talking to the team and training. This is my first training session in a year, so I couldn't be just more happy and excited and alive. So it was great. And for me, what I love the most is, talk to the players. Man, I'm a players coach. I love players. I love developing them. I love helping them. I love pushing them. Of course, I'll fight for them to the death. I will. I'll defend them. But at the same time, I will demand as well a lot from them in a good way, a positive way.
You've added Robinho, you added Keita here recently. Is it too early to know what those kinds of additions do? Do you have to sort of sort that out here in the next couple of weeks, or what do you think about adding some more talent to the roster like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we want a group where there's depth. And I don't believe in you just play 1-11. Obviously, I have a tough job. I have to pick 11 every week. On the good teams I've had, and this will be the same, those decisions will be tough. But I need a squad over 34 games. Even with the new format, there's going to be more and more compacted windows where we'll have to rotate. If we're going to push for trophies in all competitions, which we will, then I'm going to need everybody. And so... we'll be developing everybody, and there'll be some competition. We need that. There'll be, in some spots, some auditions for parts every week, which I think is important. We're not going to set the 11 on a Monday, and that's no good for anybody. The 11 need to know that they have to earn their job and keep their job and perform. But we do have some guys that are seasoned and senior guys that most likely will be in there. But it's good to have that healthy youth, which I think we're trying to blend in so that we can get that energy and, like I said, keep that competition and keep the spirit. That's important. It can't be 11 guys with the spirit in the locker room. It needs to be 25 guys that create that spirit.
Caleb, you talked about your goal to bring trophies to Columbus. What steps does the team take in the preseason to kind of work towards that goal and prepare?
Yeah, well, it's easy to say it and talk about it, but there's a process to it, and it's a long process. And of course, that's the end of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But we have to go through the steps, daily steps, and obviously right now it's preseason, building into March 2nd. We have 6 games in preseason to build up for it. And then we got 34 games, but every game matters, every point matters. They all add up, and every day in what we do matters. So I try to not take anything for granted, and we're all trying to do the best we can do every single day in every aspect, and so is the staff. We may not always get it perfect, but we'll reflect on it, and then we'll correct it, and then we'll go again, and we won't make the same mistakes twice.
Caleb, we saw Tim address the team there at the end.
Yep.
Is that typical for a president to be that hands-on and involved with the players, or is that a nice bonus you get when you hire a guy like him? I
think it's what he's about. Tim, love working with Tim already. I knew him with Toronto and with the league when he was working there. He's a good guy, good person. Great cultural fit. I think you'll learn, Tim and I are a good fit, not just because of our roots, but we're good people, we're good guys. We work hard. We respect this job big time, and so he's the same. And it was great for him to talk to the guys.
Conditioning, obviously important for any team, but over the last 5 years or so, that's really been something this team's held its hat on, and that starts in preseason. How do you rate that? How important will that be for?
Yeah, the sports science here at department is top notch, and a lot of the staff are here and stayed, and I love that loyalty. That means a lot, and it's a good group, and I'm learning some stuff from them. I thought today the guys worked harder than any first day I've seen, physically for sure. It was about an hour and 45-minute session, and a lot of it was running, and that's important to build the base. It's a running game. You can't play, in the modern game unless you can run, cover ground, and I think we'll be on the cutting edge of that side of things.